Hayden.
Yeah. Good afternoon, Javi. First of all, just a check on the squad, if I may. Are you expecting any players to return, or have you lost any players ahead of the game at the weekend that you had available this week?
To have this busy schedule, we don't have time to change our situation. You know, we played 2 days ago, and we don't have any news about injured players. We have the same players I had for the last game.
It was a huge result for you in midweek in the battle to stay up. Is it the same again this weekend?
We have to know how difficult it is to get a win in this competition. We did it in our last game, but we know how hard it is to get the 3 points in play. And then, of course, we have a positive mentality, and we will try to do it. But we have to be humble and to give the importance and every single point have.
Whether you call them 6-pointers like we do sometimes or not, how important is it for you and this season to beat the teams around you to stay up?
When we see how is the competition, we can see the difference are minimal, and we have to be ready to try to get points in every single play, in every single game, because we know everything changes very quickly. Then we try to be focused on the next game, and knowing is the game, or trying to know that the next game is the game we need to win.
How many points do you think you'll need to stay up this year?
I don't know. The next 3 points, I need it. Next 3 points, with that feeling we play the games. The next 3 points are the points we need.
Will 40 be enough?
I don't know. If you see other seasons, you can see different points, different situations, but I'm not concerned about that. I'm concerned only about the points are in play in the next game.
And just finally from me then, moving up in the table as you have to 13, does it feel like a weight has lifted, or does it feel exactly the same as before the game against Nottingham Forest?
For me, nothing changed. We need more points, and we try to play with the same desire, with the same energy. Nothing changed for me.
Thanks. Can I just check with you then? You say you have the same squad as last time, so no Willie Nonto in this weekend?
Willie was on the bench last game, was available, but he didn't play, but he was on the bench. Then he...
With regards to the width that you've been playing with, Javi, Luis Sinisterra had a great game the other night. Is width something that you are really focused on bringing back into this side?
Luis, everybody could see the level in the last game, and in my opinion about our wingers is that all of them is keeping high level when they participate in the different games they played, because we can speak about all of them, and all of them in different games played really well. Is something I'm proud, because I can choose different ways to play. In the last game we played with Jack on the right, and we started with Jack on the right and with Luis on the left, and I think it was the best option to attack, to find the spaces in that game. But I know that if I choose other players, I'm sure we are going to keep a very good level.
On Jack, actually, prior to you coming here, obviously there was a doubt about his future, whether it was Leicester or whatever. Have you had a word with him, and have you done some one-on-one with him? Because he seems to be playing great football again. And how key is he to this football?
Nothing different than others. I try to speak with all my players, because it's my job. I have to try to help them to improve their level. With the players are playing more, maybe you speak more about the different actions in the games, but I like to speak with all of them because all of them deserve my consideration about towards them. Then I try to take care of all my players the same way. Jack is keeping high level, assisting, scoring, working a lot for the team, and I think is in the level of the team, always with the desire to improve.
So you've got Gnonto, you've got Jack, you've got Crescencio, you've got Lewis.
Yeah.
When they're all fit like they are at the moment, when it comes down to it, Javi, how do you make that decision as to which, say, two wingers that you go? What's the sort of defining factor if they're all playing well and all fit?
Yeah, I try to. It's not easy, but I try to choose the best players for every single game. It's the most difficult decision in every weeks, but I have to do it, and always thinking in what is the best for the next game.
I spoke to Elland Road yesterday, and he said that he was very complimentary about what's happening at the moment, but he said also the players are playing the football they want to play. Did you discuss with them when you came in a style of play at all, of how they might like to play, or have you just said this is what we're going to do,
No.
and this is how we're going to play?
I think it's my decision. It's my job to take that decision. But of course, when I think we spoke something about it when I arrive to a new club. First thing for me is to know the characteristics of the players, the position they prefer to play, where they prefer to play, and then after that I have to choose the best solution or the best shape, the best way of play. But first of all is to know better my players, and after that, after speaking with them, after watching them in the different training sessions, after living with them different experiences, then I have to choose the best option. Yeah, thank you.
Hi, Javi.
Hi.
How difficult is it to prepare for Crystal Palace with the change of management, Roy Hodgson back in, and what are you expecting from them on the weekend?
I expect a very difficult game for sure, like all the games in this competition. In this case, with a new manager that I had the opportunity to play against him when I was in Watford. I know him very well. I know he's a very good manager, very nice people, all the staff, in all the different games we played against, always had a very good behavior, and it will be a pleasure to see him again and to say hello again.
Roy's been in the game for many, many years. Are you expecting an equal amount of time in management, and would it be such an achievement to get to that point?
No, for sure, no. No.
So not for you then?
No, for sure.
And the other gents touched on it, but how important would it be if you were to make it 6 points out of 6 this week in the battle? Because you mentioned every point is important, but this could be potentially a season-defining week if you get the 3 points against Crystal Palace, to go with the 3 that you got against Nottingham Forest.
I know. Now we can speak about how important it is to get 6 in a row, 6 points in these 2 games, but I'm not watching our last game to give more or less importance to the next. For sure we need to win the next game, but we did it in all the different games we played before. Now it's a new game where we know is our objective in play, and we need the points, and now is try to be focused in that game and give all the importance. It's like if it were a final for us. We need the points in play, and we have to play with that mentality.
And just finally from me, you have a number of games at Elland Road still to play. How important is it with your home form and the wonderful supporters that you have?
Yeah, massive for us is something I'm sure it will make the difference for us. Playing at home with the atmosphere we have, I think is special for us, and you could feel in the last game we started losing again, and all the support we felt in that moment, I'm sure helped us to get at the end of the game the 3 points. Then is something extra for us, and I always want to thank our supporters, the support they give us. Thank you.
Junior Firpo has not played this many games in a row since 2019. How much has that helped him, and how do you assess his form over the last few weeks?
I didn't know, but I think he's one player that is doing many things well, and in the last game we spoke about how important was the defensive work of all the team, but speaking about defensive line, how concentrated they were in the moment we were attacking, and it was, I think, crucial for getting the points. And all the defensive line is in a high level, and I'm trying to improve our defensive work, because when I arrived we spoke about it. I think it was something we needed to improve, not only the defensive line, all the team.
A Leeds fan told me on Tuesday that when the team wins, you can feel it through the entire city. How does it feel to be a part in that, and have you experienced it elsewhere in your career?
I could feel the relation between the supporters and the team from my first game. Even yesterday, for example, when I was in the memorial of Christopher and Kevin, two supporters that died 23 years ago, then is something you can feel the difference of in the club. No, you can see the relation between the supporters with all the club. It's something really emotional, and something I think we have to keep for the next years.
Hi, Javi. When you speak to somebody of Liam Cooper's standing in the team, your captain, very, very long-serving player, how difficult is it to have that conversation when you tell them they're not going to be playing in the game?
I think it's difficult when the players you have don't understand many things, but I can tell you I have, first of all, very good professionals, and they accept all my decisions, and always with the I don't tell you smiling, but with the good spirit, because they only have one objective, is try to help the team. And then after, for sure, all of them want to play more. And after the game yesterday, one of the first things I did was to thank all the players, the behavior they had in all the time we've been together. Always trying to push the team from the bench, from the stands. It's something give us something different. Maybe with other clubs, I don't know. In other teams, what is happening, but what I feel is that we have a very good atmosphere, and I'm sure it will help us to get our objectives.
Brendan hasn't had the goals or assists of Jack or Luis on Tuesday night, for example, but you've played him a lot. You've clearly liked what Brendan's bringing to the team. Can you elaborate for us what it is you like about Brendan's impact on the side and why he's been picked so much?
I think Brendan now he's concerned about trying to score goals, to score more goals for the team. But he's doing a great job for the team, playing in between the lines, creating play, and helping a lot in the defensive work as well. Then it's the balance we need, and when we are defending, we need all of them having the same mentality like Brendan has, and when we are attacking as well. We try in the future to give him more skills to finish better, to score more goals, to be more clinical in the chances we have. But it's something is coming because he has the right attitude. I'm sure of that. Thank you.
The last time you were in the Premier League was 4 years ago. From what you've seen so far, how has the division changed? What is different about the style of it? What is different about the quality of it, the way teams play?
Yeah, I don't know if there are many changes from my last experience. Always was hard to this competition, and to win games or to get points always was very, very demanding. Now in this moment of the competition, we are arriving to the end, and all the teams, can feel that moment, and all of them make an extra effort, and maybe it's the moment when you can see all the teams in a better level. But in my opinion, I don't find many changes.
You had good times and success in Qatar, but now that you're back in this league, do you feel like you've missed it? You had good times in Qatar, but now that you're back in the Premier League at this level of football, do you feel like you've missed being at this level?
Of course, the levels are different, but my experience in Qatar was unforgettable as well for me before the World Cup, in a country where you could feel football, you could live football during 24 hours, and I tried to help the players. I had the most of them were playing in Qatar national team, and I enjoyed the time I was with them. The differences are clear. I don't have to explain that, but I was happy there, and I'm really happy here as well.
Okay, we're going to move on to the embargo section. If we can